Okay, this instructional video will be on how to solve a quadratic equation using completing the square method. So if you want to write this down, you could. Here's your steps. You're going to get rid of c by adding or subtracting it away to get the equation to look like this. Then you're going to do this little trick where you take half of b and square it. Then you're going to add that to both sides of the equation. Kind of looks like that. So I'm going to take half of b, square it, and I'm going to add it to both sides. And then I'm going to factor the left side, and then I'll be able to solve it using the square root property. So we'll keep those steps in mind and start. So first thing is we want to add 35 to both sides and get the n squared plus 12n. Get that by itself. Now, we want to take half of b and square it. So, b in this case, b equals 12. So, b over 2 is 12 over 2, which is just 6. And then I'm going to square that to get 36. So I'm going to add 36 to both sides and go from there. Now, the big thing that we need to see is that this is a perfect square now. Okay, so n plus 6 squared. When I square that, I could check it. N plus 6 times n plus 6 would be the same as n squared plus 12n plus 36. If you don't see that, we could check it real quick. N plus 6 times n plus 6. You FOIL this. N times n is n squared. N times 6, 6n. 6 times n is 6n. And then 6 times 6 is the 36. So you notice that whenever you square a perfect square, the middle terms are always going to be the same. So you're going to have two 6n's, and then you're going to square this term and square that term to get the 36. So you can kind of see a pattern there. But regardless, if I add these two together, I get 35 and 35 makes 70, so it's 71. And then once we're at this step, this is the nice part about this strategy, is that this right here we can solve just using square roots. So I square root the whole quantity, and when I do that, that crosses that out. I'm just left with n plus 6 over here, left with positive or negative square root of 71, and then last step is to subtract 6 from both sides, and equals negative 6 plus or minus radical 71. Now, something new that I'd like you to do is write this as a decimal, okay, if possible. So not only do we have the exact, so this is our exact solution, I want an approximate decimal answer. So n equals two different decimals. So to do that, all I have to do is do negative 6 plus radical 71, press enter, and I get 2 point, and we'll just do the nearest tenth, 2.4. Okay? And it's very easy with this calculator to just change this to subtract, because this is negative 6 minus radical 71 also. So that's negative 14.4. So here's your decimal answer. That's an approximate. Here's your exact answer left as a square root.